Hi traders, and welcome to the PL Capital Commodity Report. Today is Thursday, November 23rd. Happy Thanksgiving Day to those celebrating in the US. In this video, I'm going to go over natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. And as a side note, if you trade the US stock market indexes, I'm going to do a live stream on this Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Time. So join me if you can. Otherwise, let's get on to the charts. So this is natural gas to futures contract, 4-hour chart. And I'm seeing only one of two patterns playing out. So I think coming from the October high down, I think this was a leading diagonal. And then we had our ABC. And so now one of two things is playing out. We had an ABC and then an ABC up. And then we just completed a little running flat down here for an ABC. So if this is like the A wave, the B wave, they could be making an ending diagonal. So this first ABC, that was 1, 2, they came down for 3, and now they're going to come up for 4. And I would think the 4 will come up into this like 304, maybe 314 range, something like that. Come up in 3 waves. So if it comes up in here in 3 waves and gets rejected and comes back down in 3 waves, then that tells me that this was an ending diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have an A, B, and a big 5-wave down for C, and then you get a big correction up before they resume down. So that's one pattern playing out. The other pattern is that all this ABC, that was W, that was X, and this was a Y. This is a B wave. So that was 3 waves up for A, B, and then if they come up real strong in 5 waves and probably top out at around 3.3 or so. So if they come up in 5 waves, then I think this will be a running flat, and then they'll resume down, because then you'll have, this will either be A, B, and down for C, or this is 1 and this is 2, and we won't know that until they come down on this wave here. We'll be able to figure that out. So those are the two patterns that I see. I only see downside. I don't see how there could be any pattern where you end in 3 waves here after having an impulse and down. So I only see down. The only other pattern that I could possibly see is if this, instead of being a leading diagonal, if this is somehow just 3 waves, it's possible then that's 1, that was 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this was all a leading diagonal, which means now you're going to get a correction, and then still down. So we'll know based on this wave, whatever this is. If this is 3 waves up to here and down, then I know that this was an ending diagonal. If it's 5 waves up to here and then down, then I know this is a running flat. If it's a big 3-wave correction and then down, well, then I'll know that this whole thing was a leading diagonal. So this wave will tell just what all this was over here. But I'd only be looking for buy setups, and you already have your buy setup. I mean, after the inventory number came out on Thursday, they shot it up, it corrected down, and so I'd only be looking for a buy setup. And at a minimum, I think it should be coming up to 304, and if you get in the buy, you could get lucky and it comes up to 3.1 or even up to 3, say like 3.3. So you just have to pick where your exit is, but I'd only be looking for a buy setup because something has just ended, and so we either need to go up for the 4 or the B, or they're going to make a big ABC. So I'm only looking for a buy setup down here. You just got to figure out where your exit is or your take profit, because I don't see how this could be just correction and it's going all the way up to break the high. All right, so that's natural gas. Going on to oil. Oil is in a, a very tricky spot right here. So I got this ABC down, and then got this ABC, and then I think this was A, B, and then they completed an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's an ABC. So it's either they're making a leading diagonal, which means that that's 1, that's 2, and then it came down for 3, and then they're going to go up for 4, and then still down for 5. And there is a very, very small little 3-wave move up. It looks rather impulsive to me though, but I can make a case that there are 3 waves, and that could be 4, and now they're working their way down. So this is a tricky spot. Like, you either need to already be in the buy, and because this could be like the A wave, this was like the B wave, and now they're going to come up, for the C wave, and then maybe still down, so being like buying or selling right here, it's really tricky, because zooming out here, I still think that this is 5 waves up. And so I think all of this needs to be correction, but I gotta say, if this is making a leading diagonal, and that's 1, and that was 2, and this was 3, and then there's gonna be a 4, 5. Oh, I guess 5 could end, but you're getting really close. Like, 5's gonna end, then it's gonna correct, and you're still gonna have one more down. Now they could make just a double bottom and then go all the way up, but you're getting really close to like breaking that low, which then tells me that that's not a leading diagonal. So yeah, this is a tricky spot for me for oil. So I want to see what this does here in this area, because the only other option that this could be would be, let me clean this up, that this is, instead it's just like a WXY. That's all the correction, and then you go up. But it's not looking super bullish at the moment. I was thinking that they were going to be making a running flat and still a little bit more down, but they're starting to push up too much, that like the running flat, if it is, it would have to like reverse right now. So if that's the case, then maybe this is just the start. This is like 1, 2, and then this is 1, 2, and then they'll be going up for a 3, 4, and a 5. So that's what I would want to see. If you want to get bullish about oil, you got to let this area play out and tell you what's going on. Because if they can do this 1, 2, and a real strong 3, and break this high over here that they set on Monday, if they can break that 78.42 in 3 waves, then I'd be looking for the pullback for 4, and then still one up for 5, because then you got a good chance that they're going to be going up. But for right now, oil's just in a tricky spot, because it could be that that's all the correction, and this is like the start of down. Like, maybe that's 1, and then they'll correct up. This will be like a B, C, and then they'll be coming down in 3. So I'd want them to break 78.42 before I go long, because there could be still one more wave down. So this area is tricky until either 78.42 breaks or 72.13. Now I'll tell you, if they do come down, like maybe up here, and they come down and break, then you really got to be looking for a buy setup, because then you'll have your 5 wave move down, and then there'll be a healthy correction upwards before they do fall one more time. So, I'd definitely be a buyer under 72, and then you can take a shot of buying actually if they break 78.42, because then they should be making a bigger correction here. All right, so that's oil. Let's move on to copper. All right, copper, it looks like they could be making a leading diagonal here. So off of the October low, I got this as ABC up to here, and then ABC down, and now they just completed this ABC. So, and there's no divergence. When I look at the MACD, there's no divergence between these two waves. So to me, this looks like ABC. That's one, that's two. They came up here for three, and it looks like there's already three waves. That could be four, or that could just be the A wave, and this is the B, and then they'll come down one more time for four. But I'd only be looking for buy setups in copper, because it's looking very much like they're going up for the fifth wave now. You just got to, actually buying right where, and I think that's still worth it. Because even if they do come down, I don't think it's gonna it can't come and break this low, because that invalidates. 358 would be invalidation, but they might break that low, 373 one more time, but somewhere under there, then that would be the four, and then they'll go up in three ways for five. So yeah, anywhere from here, if you can get it even lower, I think that's a great buy setup, because then you'll have your leading diagonal. Or you could just let that leading diagonal play out and then wait for the bigger correction after they break 383 again, and then let this correction play out, and you'll be buying somewhere down in here for that big move up. So, but yeah, copper's actually looking strong. Yeah, unless somehow this is just a WXY, but it doesn't look like a WXY. It's very strong. There's no divergence. It's looking rather actually impulsive to me. So copper looks strong, but definitely if you do get into buy, that's your got to be your stop right there, 358. If they break that, then this is not a diagonal going up. All right, gold. Gold too, it looks like they want to break that 2009 high, and they could be doing it also in a diagonal format here, because I have ABC to there, and then they came down in three waves, and now so far they've gone up in three waves. So it could be that's one, that was two, they came up for three, and you already have three waves down. And so this could be the start, like one, two, and now they're going to come up for that fifth wave. So if you're a short-term trader, you could probably take a chance on playing for that fifth wave, because this is definitely looking like a diagonal. But just know that once it does break 2009, that at any moment that fifth wave will be ending. So, like I said, it'd be just a short-term trade, but it does look like we have the makings of, that's one, oops, two was down here, three was there, came down for four, and looks like they should be going up one more time. So that might be a short-term trade. Selling, if you're into selling gold, you'd have to wait for this to break, I think, this level down here. Yeah, 1965, because otherwise, because that could be a WXY up to here, and now they're starting to down, but not until they break there. I wouldn't be a seller. I'd sell above 2009 if you're into selling gold, but right now, I'd only be looking for the buy setup for one wave up more. And gold, I'm sorry, silver. Silver looks like they've completed a leading diagonal up to there, and it's in a tricky spot because go out to a daily. You know, I've been saying that I see this as a three-wave move down to here, and I think that was W. This triangle was X, and then they came down in three waves for the Y wave. And we have three waves up now. So this could be W, X, Y, X, and now they're going to come down in three waves to break 2066, and that'll give you the Z wave, and then go up. It's going to go up. It's just a matter of, is that Y the low and now we go break 26, or do they have one more three-wave correction in them? So I'd only be looking for buy setups, but it's in a tricky spot just because I said we do have, you know, we completed a three-wave move. Now we do have like a little three-wave move into this zone, so it's possible that this three-wave, like that was, that can't even, that, as I say, that's possible that they completed, like they're going to do a diagonal, and that was one, and then they came down for a two. That's just too small of a two. So if you missed the run for silver, I'd actually let it. You know, if it's going to go up in a diagonal, I think then this move down was A. I think this three-wave move would be B, and then they should come down for a C wave. So I'd be a buyer if they could come and break that low one more time, because then it's possible then that's one, and then two would be here, and then they'll go up in three ways for three. But buying right here, just because you could be getting sucked into watching it come all the way down to break that low, so that wouldn't be fun. So maybe down here you could, if it comes down in five waves, then maybe you can take a shot that this is just an A, and then three waves up to B, and then if it comes down here in five waves, then you'd have a 3, 3, 5, and then that could be like a 2, and then they're going up, at least to break that high one more time. But yeah, I wouldn't be buying right here just because I'm worried that there could be one more push down. So I'd only be a buyer, but much lower from the current levels. All right, moving on to uranium, and so for now I've made this a contracting flat, and the 4 ended here. Now contracting flats, a lot of times they turn into running flats. You know, like if we get a sharp move down here and then back up, you know, because then this turns into this look, running flat. Oops. This line, then it'll come over here. And then that actually would look a lot better. But for right now, it could be that this is a contracting flat for 4, and I do see them making a diagonal, which kind of looks like this is a contracting flat, and the 4 ended here, because what I see so far is just we have 1, 2, 3 for 1, and then there was a little, oops, there was a 3-wave move here for 2, and then there was 3 waves, and then they came down for 4, and now there is this little baby correction up here. I mean, so that could be 5. I think this is just the first part, and now you got a 3-wave correction, and so I think they're going to come up one more time, break 29.25 to finish that 5-wave, and it'll be a diagonal, and I think then it'll be an ending diagonal, because then we'll have this 1, 2, 3 contracting flat 4, and it'll be a 5-wave move, and so that could be the 5th wave, or that could just be the first part of the 5th wave. So maybe it'll be actually a leading diagonal. So if they're going to really push this, going to push this up, so maybe they're going to target actually 31. So maybe this will be like they'll break 29.25. That'll be a leading diagonal. Then they're going to correct, and then go up for 3, 4, and a 5, and then the 5th wave will be ending way up there. So we'll have to see once they break 29.25 what happens. If you just get a 3-wave correction and then it starts coming back up, well then I think 31.60 they'll be targeting. But obviously if they come and break that low, that's the invalidation level. Because if this correction comes and breaks that 25.73, then that 5-wave move up from the July 22 high, then this is going to be making a big correction before they resume up. So I think there's more up, but you just got to know that once they break 29.25, that diagonal will be ending. It's just a matter of how high that 5th wave is going to go. And then there'll be some type of correction. It's just either going to be correcting that whole move or just correcting this diagonal up. So more up for uranium. Just got to be cautious above 29.25. Got to figure out where your take profit is, because at any moment it could reverse for correction. All right, that's what I see on the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and support, and I'll see you in the next video.